Let me be candid to everyone here. I myself come from a family of emerging politicians. Tatapatin ko kayo, hindi nahihirapan pong ipasa. Kasi paano naman po ipapasa yan, gagawa po ng batas ang Kongreso kung marami po sa Kongreso ang magkakamag-anak. At may mga ko-kontra po rito.
For the moment, I'd like to give way to the opening statement of Senator Erwin. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Mana-mana, tiba-tiba, tila ba nagiging pamana po ang posisyon sa gobyerno na ipapasa mula sa isang henerasyon ng pamilya patungo sa susunod. For decades, the concentration of political power in the hands of few families has raised question about fairness, inclusiveness, and integrity of our democratic system. The framers of our 1987 Constitution foresaw this danger. That is why Article 2, Section 26 of the Constitution expressly provides the state shall guarantee equal access to opportunities for public service and prohibit political dynasties as may be defined by law. At the heart of the problem, however, lies a constitutional gap. The provision itself is not self-executing. Ang ibig pong sabihin nito, the prohibition is clear but the mandate is incomplete because Congress has yet to define through law what constitutes a political dynasty. Ano ba talagang ibig pong sabihin ng political dynasty? Paano ba natin ito bibigyan kahulugan at mapatupad sa paraang makabubuti po sa ating bayan? We must wrestle with difficult questions. Up to what degree of consanguinity or affinity should be considered a dynasty? Does it cover only elective posts or should it also include appointive positions? Kung ang isang miyembro po ba ng pamilya nasa executive at isa naman ay nasa legislative or judiciary, political dynasty na ba itong maituturing? Should the law apply only to simultaneous holding of power? Sabay-sabay or also to succession, sunod-sunod? Tatay, asawa sa legislative, anak, apo sa isang probinsya, sa isang bayan? Should we draw distinctions between the national, local levels? And most critically, ano po ang implikasyon sa karapatang bumoto at karapatang tumakbo ng bawat mamayan? Mahigit 3 dekada na po ang lumipas, wala pa ring malinaw na definisyon kung ano po ba talaga ang dynasty na ipinagbabawal. This vagueness has allowed the problem to persist. Let me be candid to everyone here. I myself come from a family of emerging politicians. That is precisely why I say this issue is not about attacking families, but also strengthening the institutions and giving every Filipino a fair chance of leadership. Ang iyong lingkod po ay handang makinig sa mga posisyon ng iba't ibang ahensya at manatiling bukas sa lahat ng panig. Our people deserve a political system that is open, competitive, and truly representative of the nation. Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat, Madam Chair.
Maraming salamat din po, Senator Erwin, pati sa candor ng inyong opening statement. So we will proceed po with the hearing. Maybe we can go back to the inputs of Attorney Monsod. Attorney Chris, you told us kung paano nag-evolve yung thinking niyo about the anti-political dynasty provision. Kanina nga nabanggit nyo na at the start you were also considering paano naman din yung karapatan ng bawat mamamayan to offer himself or herself for public service kahit pa dynasty siya. Paano din tinimbang po nung framers ng Constitution yung karapatan ng mga botante mamili ng mamumuno vis-a-vis the prohibition against dynasties? Earlier or later in your thinking about it, hindi ba sa tingin nyo nasagkaan yung konsepto ng voter's choice?
I think I mentioned that some of my family framers of the Constitution mentioned that we should give the voters the chance. But after a lot of deliberations, we said, and I guess I'll quote the three reasons why we decided to go ahead with it. Because number one, the exclusionary effect on a dynastic person is less than the exclusionary effect on many candidates who are poor or from humble backgrounds who do not have a chance against entrenched political power. Number
So
two,
you're giving more protection in law to those who have less in life.
yes, that's precisely why my first sentence was, this provision is a social justice provision of the Constitution. Number two, the provision would complement and close a loophole on the term limits of elected officials. And number three, the call for a new social order based on social justice in the Constitution we are writing cannot be fulfilled without affirmative action mandated by the Constitution itself.
Thank you. Senator Erwin would like to interject.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question goes to Attorney Monsod. Tama po ba, sir, kayo po ay framers po ng 1987 Constitution?
Yes.
Opo.
Yes, sir.
My question, sir, is bakit doon pa lang po sa Constitution na in-specify na po ninyo, parang masyadong vague na po, ngayon nagkakaproblema na po tayo. Sa totoo lang ho, tatapatin ko ho kayo, hindi nahihirapan pong ipasa. Kasi paano naman po ipapasa yan, gagawa po ng batas ang Kongreso kung marami po sa Kongreso ang magkakamag-anak. Ang tanong ko po, bakit hindi po naisip ng mga framers? Did you at one point talk about it na ilatag na natin, to be clear, okay, bawal yung tatay, anak, asawa, etc. or bawal yung magpipinsan sa posisyon. Bakit hindi po nagawa? Ngayon nahihirapan po tayong i-apply itong batas na ito, sir.
Well, I think I also mentioned that earlier. The question is, bakit namin, why did we leave it to legislation as a definition of dynasty to Congress? Why did we leave it to Congress instead of putting it in the Constitution itself? And my answer was that the Commission thought that by including the mandate in the Declaration of Principles and State Policies, surely the Congress would enact an implementing law. We were trusting Congress to do its job. And that the extent and gravity of the problem may change over time. Today, we may need extended beyond fourth degree, first cousins. In later years, after we have gained political maturity, and I'm sorry, Senator, to say, we have not gained political maturity. In later years, maybe the problem may be limited only to 2 degrees or 1 degree. And we left that to the wisdom of the Congress, who are the representatives of the people. Unfortunately, that has not happened.
Madam Chair, that's just a follow-up question. Kasi po, Madam Chair, the problem is may nakita po kasing gray area. There's a gray area in that Article 2, Section 26. Itong gray area po, dito lahat pumasok eh. Inabuso po itong gray area because sinasabi po niya sa Constitution, it depende sa Congress. Lumalabas po ngayon, ayaw po at nahihirapan pong ipasa dahil may mga ko-kontra po rito. Yun po yung sinasabi natin. Kaya nga po, yung gray area na ito, doon pumasok itong mga families, itong magkakamag-anak. Kaya po marami tayong ganito ngayon. Ngayon, we're having problems. How are we going to pass this law or make a law regarding dynasty kung yung Kongreso mismo ay magkakamag-anak, may mga relasyon po sila? That is the problem, Madam Chair.
Yes, we understand the problem. But the problem is not only about this law on social justice, on dynasties. The problem is that the heart of the Constitution is social justice, and it is not being implemented by Congress. And there are so many laws like, well, one of them, of course, is party list law, which must be amended. Why? There must be an anti-dynasty provision there. Number two, there should be no limit of 3, right? By the way, this is also an error on the part of the judiciary. But there should be no limit of 3 because party list is a proportional representation legislation. Proportional representation. So what happens? Bayan Muna, for example, can have 1, but now they have what, 6 or 7. So we have about what, 170, correct me please, 170 registered in party list. It confuses the people. And then in the decision of the Supreme Court, Senator Tony Carpio mentioned that phrase that it should be the candidate should be a member of the party or sorry, party or common place or whatever, that the phrase has a marked up record of advocacy, which enabled a resident of Forbes Park to represent tricycle drivers. So those three amendments on party law, Congress has not passed it. It has to pass amendments to the party list. So, sir, I can go on. I can tell you how much Congress has been short, has not implemented the provisions of the Constitution on health and education and 4 asset reform programs: agrarian reform, urban land reform and housing, ancestral domain, and fisheries. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Court even issued a decision a few months ago allowing large-scale fishing to fish in municipal areas. Supreme Court decision, despite the constitutional provision that preference should be given to municipal fishermen. I can go on the list, Your Honor. This is just one of them.
Yes, I can check with the committee chair, Senator Lacson, but I'm willing to guess there are bills filed in his committee on the amendments to the party list law. The minority leader would like to interject.
With the permission of the
Right.
Senator Tulfo and the chairperson, I concur with most of what Attorney Christian Monsodos has manifested, except that one point wherein nagkulang ang Congress sa party list. To a certain extent, yes, sir, but not entirely. You see, in the 11th Congress, if I recall it right, Senator Raul Roco was chairman of electoral reforms. I was his vice chairman. He sponsored the party list law. I co-sponsored it. The law that we passed had only 8 marginalized sectors. That was farmers, fisher folk, seniors, youth, women, IPs, labor, and in IPs, urban poor. Yun lang po talaga original. Somewhere along the way, somebody petitioned COMELEC, and COMELEC, to a certain extent, allowed a sector that is not exactly within the marginalized. Kasi the law was limited to marginalized as mentioned in the Constitution. Tapos, nung merong nagkaproblema sa COMELEC, somebody brought it up to the Supreme Court. Doon lumala. Doon nabukas eh. Yun yung kinasabi po ninyo na yun nga, medyo hindi naman farmer nire-represent yung mga farmer. Meron pa nga hindi naman youth, nire-represent yung youth. Hindi ba? Nabuksan na po eh. No? So, again, I agree with what you're saying, but not entirely when it comes to the party list system. I just could not help but include it here because I know for a fact that Senator Lacson is looking at the possibility. I am filing a bill limiting again, limiting it back to the original party list that we originally passed. So I'm filing that bill, and hopefully we will try to get your points there again, Attorney Monsod. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, Senator
Minority
Erwin
Leader.
and Isa.
Thank you, Minority
Can
Leader.
I reply?
Before you continue, Attorney Monsod, Senator Erwin would like to finish with his interjection.
Let me redirect my questions now, Madam Chair, to the Commission on Elections, to Chairman Garcia. Madam Chair, my question is, bakit po nagkaganito, nag-spiral out of control? Tama po yung sinasabi ng aming minority leader na parang dapat 6, 5 lang ang party list, pero kung ano-ano na, pati mga palangalan ng mga pelikula, kung ano-ano na. At tapos, wala po bang qualifications? I mean, you guys can look into na paano ka magre-represent? Tama nga po yung sinasabi ng aming minority leader. How can you represent kung mayaman ka, nakatira ka sa Forbes, and then urban poor yung nire-represent mo? Parang hindi po tutugma eh. Meron na po ba ang next elections makikita natin na medyo hihigpitan na po? Kung hindi ka talaga mahirap, you cannot represent that, di ba? Kung hindi ka naman tricycle driver, you should not be represented in the tricycle driver because you don't know yung kanilang buhay, Madam Chair.
I'd just like to remind our resource persons, we can maybe come to an initial conclusion on the discussion about the party list so that we can focus again on our subject today, including the bill of Senator Erwin on the political dynasty prohibition. Please proceed, Chair Garcia.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair, Your Honors. Yung pong binabanggit na mga sectors, yung mga sectors po na binanggit ng ating minority floor leader, kung maaalala po ni Chairman Christian Monsod, yan po ay nakalagay, Madam Chair, sa transitory provision ng Constitution. Sabi po ng transitory provision, actions after the 1987 Constitution, ito po yung mga sectors na dapat present. Yung mga binanggit po ng ating minority floor leader, kasama po ang veterans, Madam Chair. Ngayon po, after po ng pangatlong term, na-open na po ang party list into, meron pong political parties, meron pong sectoral organizations, meron din pong sectoral parties. Yung pong nagbigay po niyan na classification ay ang Supreme Court, complicating the situation. Yung pong Supreme Court sa atong paglaom, Madam Chair, nagbanggit sila, ito dapat ang pwede. Ngayon po, Madam Chair, nung una, sabi ng Supreme Court sa isang case, dapat hindi nakatira sa gated communities of Forbes Park and Dasmariñas Village. Kasi po walang nakalagay sa batas. So napilitan po ang Supreme Court to enhance the decision. Sabihin na po natin legislate. And then several years after, sabi po ng Supreme Court, hindi naman kinakailangang gumagapang sa kahirapan. Sapat na lang na may proven advocacy yung mismong nominee sa naturang party list. So yung po yung nag-open ng floodgates. Ano po ibig sabihin, Madam Chair? Ang isang nakababata ay pwede magrepresenta sa nakatatanda. Tama po o hindi? Tama po. Basta may advocacy. Ang isang super bilyonaryo pwede magrepresenta sa farmers? Pwede po basta may advocacy. Ang isang hindi naman po, ang isang lalaki ay pwede magrepresenta sa kababaihan, pwede po ba? Pwede po, basta may advocacy. Yung po yung nag-open ng flood. In several instances po, Madam Chair, ang Supreme Court po ay napipilitan na magdagdag doon sa provision ng batas sapagkat kulang po talaga yung batas natin. Dapat po talaga yan ay ino-overhaul na at this point. This is the position of the Commission sapagkat kahit po yung computations of formula, nung una po yung Panganiban formula, bigla pong binago ng Carpio formula. Ngayon po may mga kaso pa sa Supreme Court kasi paano i-determine yung 2%. So, Madam Chair, Your Honors, yan po yung problema talaga sa party list. It is now ripe, super ripe for a revision, not only amendment, para po maging ma-reflect po talaga yung binabanggit po ni Chairman Bonsod na for the marginalized and underrepresented. So, yun po yung naging kadahilanan. The COMELEC cannot do anything. We have to follow the Supreme Court and of course the limited provisions of Republic Act 7941, the party list law.
Can I answer?
Salamat po, Chair Garcia. Before I acknowledge Attorney Monsed, the Chair would like to recognize the presence of Senator De La Rosa. Thank you for joining us. And I will ask you momentarily if you would like to make an opening statement. So wala, okay, salamat. We will close pansamantala yung discussion about the party list unless it comes up later in the hearing, and babalikan natin lahat pa ng mga tanong natin on the anti-political dynasty.
Just a short,
briefly, yes,
just a short
please.
one. Chairman is correct. The marginalized doesn't mean only economic. It also could include a suggestion on political matters, for example, not just the poor marginalized. And the 7 that were mentioned in the Constitution is only for 9 years, 3 consecutive elections. The correct decision, sir, is in the Paglaom case, is Justice Carpio. In fact, he quotes me in order to put the framework for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Chris. So sige, balikan natin yung marami nang naipresenta both ni Chair Garcia and Attorney Monsod about the anti-political dynasty law na iniuutos ng konstitusyon sa Kongreso ilabas. Chair Garcia, wala po ba tayong nakikitang, regarding pa rin itong degree of relasyon, no? Wala po ba tayong nakikitang problema sa magtito, tita, pamangkin, pinsan? Kasi lampas na po sila sa second degree. Pero they're so numerous right now in our dynasties and in our politics.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. Ang position lang naman po ng COMELEC para maging consistent lang po na second degree. Second degree po yung SK, second degree po ang Bangsamoro. So kung talaga po magkakaroon tayo ng national policy on at law sa the political dynasty, at least po yung second degree lang po din, at least para po consistent sa lahat, pare-parehas. But again, yung pong issue na ito, Madam Chair, yung question as to really what degree, it's a policy decision, and it is really for Congress po to really determine anong degree. You can even put po third degree para po the middle between fourth at saka second degree. At least po yun hanggang magtiyuhin man lang po yung third degree. So pwede po yun. It's really up to Congress, and wala pong nilagay sa saligang batas up to what degree. It's really dependent sa Kongreso po.
And in fact, as you pointed out earlier, 2 sa 3 bills natin, kasama na po yung kina Sen. Sherwin and Sen. Ping, hanggang sa second degree of consanguinity. Pero nabanggit nyo rin ulit ngayon yung SK Reform and Empowerment Law. And kanina sinabi nyo nga na naging effective ang COMELEC sa pag-enforce yan. At marami kayong na-disqualify. How many disqualifications ang nagawa batay sa probisyong iyan?
Simula po, excuse me,
mula nung ma-enact yung batas?
Siguro po kulang-kulang mga 1,000 na mga kandidato kasi po related sa nakaupong mayor, related sa nakaupong barangay chairman, barangay kagawad. So, ang basihan po ng disqualification ay yung mismong relationship ng kandidato sa SK as against mga nakaupo na national or local official. So, yun po yung tiningnan natin at na-point out po, nakita, minsan nagpe-present po ng mga birth certificates yung mga nag-file na to prove the relationship na talagang isa yung nanay nila, isa yung tatay po nila, and therefore magkapatid. Kaya naman ito po yung anak talaga dahil sa birth certificate. So naging madali po sa mga nagpa-file na ma-prove. At the same time po talaga pong nakapag-prevent doon sa mga magkakamag-anak na may mag-file kasi alam nila makikita yung relationship na yon. So to a certain extent, it drove away those who intends to file, although may relationship na na mali doon sa base sa definition ng political dynasty.
So would you say, Chair, na tagumpay or palpak yung SK Reform and Empowerment Law sa pag-prohibit ng dynasties at least sa barangay level?
Madam Chair, so far po sa kasalukuyan, wala tayong alam na isang kaso na na-file sa Supreme Court